Oh, 13 Studios.
Joe, I don't know about you. I'm like 2 or 3 months overdue for a haircut. This is not great. If you're watching the video on YouTube, you can see what I'm talking about. If you're listening on Spotify, I didn't know that you existed.
Yo, that's foul. Look at my hair, dude. Look how long it is. Let me make sure I can hear you. Actually, let me do this. Let me do
Yeah,
this.
man,
Because I gotta be
figure
able
it
to hear
out.
you. Look how long it is.
That's long as fuck for you. That's long as yeah.
That like the longest you've ever seen it on
It's
me?
definitely up there. Yeah,
Because
dude.
that's
Damn.
crazy.
We just look like fucking homeless right now. I need a haircut, I need a shave, I need a shower, I need a bath.
You need to, dude. I love taking baths.
Do you
I
really?
Here's the thing though. Oh yeah, I love baths. I
Huh.
love like taking a bath and reading, or like, you know, doing whatever I do in the bathtub.
I love getting a book soaking wet. I love dipping my book in the bath water like it's a chicken nugget in some ranch.
That's tasty. It really allows the smell to come out of the book.
Mhm. All
But
the
here's the thing.
bookworms.
I grow my hair out every winter for like the past like 3 years or so. And then I get it cut in the summer. But my predicament is PAX East is coming up. And if you don't know what PAX East is, it's a convention in Boston every year for games and stuff. And nerd culture. And it's in May this year, so it's going to be really warm. And I don't know if I want to, flaunt my locks, right? Or if I want to cut it. Because typically, as you know, I cut it real short, throw the hat on backwards, and pull the hair out of the front. It's a classic look. Elex, post a photo of me right there. Wow, that looks very handsome. There you go. I just give you extra editing work. You like that?
I'm definitely not putting that in. Are
You're
you
gonna
Alex
no,
put that in
fuck
right
you.
there, and I'm just gonna make it 45 minutes of silence. Yeah, you might need to cut it for PAX.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking is it gets really hot, and you've had long hair for like your whole adult life, so you understand that. So I don't know, man. I want to keep it long because I like the long hair, but it's gonna be real warm up there in the old northern region. You know what I'm saying? My head.
Yeah, it gets really hot in Boston.
No, I'm saying northern
Boston,
region of my head.
notoriously hot. Oh, okay. Got
Watch
it.
it be
I thought
cold as
yeah.
fuck that week.
I mean, honestly, dude, May in the Northeast, you never know. You might get snow.
Well, here's the thing though. The reason why it's a big deal is because PAX is usually in like February, and the latest I've ever seen it is the beginning of April. It's always cold as fuck for PAX. And this is the first year in the last 10 years it's been in May. So we're all super excited. I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have to whip out the femboy outfit and grow the hair out even longer. We'll see.
It's gonna be a gaming convention, so it's just already gonna be a bunch of sweaty, stinky motherfuckers, and now they put it in a hotter month. It's gonna be that's gonna be brutal.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Dollar Tree and buy one of those dollar sticks of deodorant. I'm going to buy like 500 of them and just hand them out. I'll be like, oh, nice to meet you. Here's deodorant, man.
I can't think of a stinkier place than like
Yo,
a
come
gaming
on.
convention in the summertime. I can't think that's biochemical warfare, dude.
Yo, there's one section of the convention that has like a hallway of beanbag chairs, and every year one of us always says, "Dude, these beanbags smell like straight ass."
Because how do you wash a bean? Can you wash a beanbag chair?
So I don't know. I had, I think, I think I had an ex girlfriend who bought me. I can't remember who bought it for me. I think it was an ex girlfriend. Bought me a 10-foot by 6-foot beanbag chair that came in this box that was like this big, and you had to let it like puff out for 3 days. It was the biggest fucking beanbag ever. You could probably see it in some of my older videos. And I never once washed that shit. You can imagine the stains that ended up on that fucking thing. And when I moved out of that apartment, I fucking left it in the closet in
No
the hallway.
way.
I swear to God, I went last week and walked over to that building and checked if it was still there. It was still there. It was covered in spider webs.
Nobody's taking it.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking 500 pounds. Do you know how fucking hard it was to even put it in the closet?
The only time I ever had a beanbag chair, my brother and my parents bought us these matching Spider-Man ones, and they fucking rocked. They were the sickest things in the world. But then my brother and I also had bunk beds, and I was on the top bunk, and I got very sick, and I leaned over the side of the bunk bed and threw up, and it just I right into one of the Spider-Man beanbags, and it was like shaped like correctly, so it just like pooled up in there and like caught it like a bowl of cereal. And so we had to throw out the beanbag chairs, and I've not owned one since.
Alex, you are never invited to my house ever again.
Why?
You're gonna throw
Why?
on all my chairs, man.
I've never thrown up on a chair since then. Leave me alone.
Yo, yeah, it was last week, dude. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I did this at 19 years old. My brother and I were still in bunk beds as like stepbrothers, but sadder.
Ew, that's fucking disgusting. That's the grossest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I mean, it's a good thing that it had like the body somebody sitting in it shape and not like round at the top, right? Like it legitimately caught it. It was like, it could have been a lot worse if it had it ricocheted. You know what I
Ew.
mean?
Ew. Your mom had to fucking throw away the world's largest bowl of soup of vomit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
disgusting, dude.
yeah. She was like trying to she had to like try to slide it all into a garbage bag. It was a nightmare.
Ew, ew, ew.
That doesn't, I mean, that comes nowhere close to the time my brother got sick and he tried to make it to the bathroom and he stood at the top of the stairs and threw up down the stairs.
What was going on with your family?
My dad woke up in the middle of the night and turned and he thought my brother was gonna fall. So he, without looking or anything, he just started running up the stairs and he slipped in it. So he slipped in my brother's puke and like fell in it. So what I woke up to was not my brother puking, but my dad dry heaving, like trying to like get my brother to the bathroom and then clean the stairs. Cause my dad's got a super weak stomach. So my brother like threw up everywhere. My dad's now covered in it. My brother's in the bathroom throwing up. He's trying to take a shower to get the puke off of him. Yeah, that was a long night.
You know, I'm gonna need you to see a therapist to
I,
to go
you
over
know,
all the trauma. What the
that's
fuck
not
happened in your
trauma. That's not
family?
trauma. That's a funny
Trauma?
story.
Are you
It's
fucking
trauma for
serious?
Eric. It ain't trauma for me.
That's the most disgusting fucking thing I ever heard. We're gonna make all the listeners, if we have any, fucking die.
Joe, we did a
That's
whole episode
terrible.
about puking while driving home from Philadelphia and throwing
Oh
up in your
yeah, I
own
forgot
lap.
about that. I
So like
forgot
this
about
is
that.
nothing. At least this one's true. I guess that's what makes it grosser, but
Well, that the fucking Philly example almost happened. Thank God I made it on that fucking trip. Oh my god, dude. What month is it, Alex? Is it March?
it's the end of March. Yeah, it's almost April. It's almost April. Fuck it. I
Hey,
don't know.
it's spring now.
Spring. It's
Yeah, it was the
spring.
first day of spring was like yesterday or something, right?
Uh I I I
I think
honestly
so.
don't know. I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
So here in Chicago, it was 70 degrees on Saturday, last Saturday. When I woke up to go to the gym on Wednesday, there was snow on the ground. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Well, right now it's 30 and yesterday it was like 66. So, dude, it's all fucked up. But I feel good.
There you go. That's what matters. I've always hated this like fake spring thing. This like, couple of weeks of teasing. Just fucking just make it spring.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like it mostly because like I haven't gone outside today yet, so like in my head it's still 66.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I'm like, this is nice. It's fucking Friday. You know what I'm saying?
To you, the weather is just whatever you set your thermostat to. So
Yeah, I don't leave the
it is
house.
always 68 and sunny where, like it's
I have some friends who text me and they'll be like, "So did you go outside today?" I'm like, "What the fuck? No, of course not. I just got the new Xbox. Why the fuck would I go outside?"
I'm busy.
All my stuff is in here, man. Come on.
No, outside's overrated.
Well, yeah, I mean, graphics are cool, but the storyline sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we had a guy got stabbed to death around the corner the other day. So like,
Yeah,
outside's
you sent us
overrated.
photos, not of the
Oh no,
stabbing.
that was something else. That was yeah.
Oh,
That was yeah. Caitlin and I got home and there was like a fuck ton of police cars outside of our apartment. We're like, that's unusual. And I look out the window and there's a guy like on the curb right outside my apartment who was in handcuffs. And then I guess he didn't technically do anything wrong because the cops let him out of the handcuffs and all the cops left. But for the next like 30 minutes or so, that guy stayed and was yelling at somebody up in like a different apartment building and was screaming like, "I'm gonna kill you," and like, you picked the wrong one. You got me fucked up. All the classic, you know. And we were like, all right, this is maybe just crazy guy stuff. And then at one point he said something about like something, your children. And Caitlin and I were like, whoa, okay, shut the window, like went in the other room. We're like, we don't, this is okay.
Whoa, man! I got stuff like that happening around here too, man. I'm sure you saw my tweet. I called our local bakery and had some shenanigans happen to me.
Yeah.
They uh they said they didn't sell subs, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?" And then I go in, and they're all laughing at me. You know,
So I was talking about like criminal mischief and like serious physical violence threats. And you're talking about like a crank call. Just so we're on the same page,
well,
maybe.
no, see, I was trying to order food,
Yep.
and they
Yep.
pulled a little prank on me, and
Right. Yep. So and
I was
yeah, and
trying
then
to eat
somebody got
dinner.
stabbed to death like around
W-
the corner from my apartment. So I'm
Well,
just saying, like these two stories don't seem to
no,
go together.
they're two severe situations.
Sure.
Mental distress versus, y- you know, um, So this is the Random Question Podcast where we ask ourselves random questions.
Uh, boy.
And before that, we kind of shoot the shit.
We like
And
to
that's
riff.
yeah, we riff, as they say in the podcast world. So that's kind of, as you can
Shit.
see, that's what we're doing now. We're just joshing each
We're
other,
just riffing.
you
We're
know what
just
I'm saying?
joking. Nobody actually got stabbed. I was goofing. No, somebody got stabbed. It was very serious.
Somebody
Somebody,
did
yeah,
prank me with my submarine sandwich, which I was
yeah,
very upset about.
yeah.
Um,
I don't know who had a worse day. It was either that guy or Joe, and I'm not sure who
it's
had the worst
me.
day.
It was me, man. When was the last episode we put out?
Episode we did episode 8. We talked about music and some other junk, and
Oh
we took
yeah, the
it, and
music one. That was
yeah, and
good.
we took a couple weeks off because Joe and I are busy men. And
That's true.
you know what?
Manly man.
You know what? If you got a problem with it,
I, there's no problems here, man. Over at Official Joey Sealand, we're all good. I'm sure that's what you were gonna say too. Of
yeah,
course.
I was gonna make a joke about like if you got a problem with it, I'm gonna stab you, and that just felt in poor taste. So I just kind of I froze up and didn't finish the joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? That's
And if you
fair.
got a problem
That's
with it,
fair.
I'm gonna stab you to death outside my apartment. See, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't have the same.
I'll crank call you for your
And if you don't
submarine
like it, I'm
sandwiches.
gonna prank call you about a Italian sub.
Yo, it was a fucking 2 spicy Italian subs, heavy on the salami, and I'm a busy man. I called ahead so I get my fucking my order.
Heavy on the salami sounds like an Action Bronson fucking bar. Are you kidding me? We go heavy on the salami. Ah,
Hang on now, that's a good skit
are you
idea
shitting
for
me,
you.
dude?
That's what I do. I was in a hurry. I had to
I
hit the
call up the
gym and I had to do
bakery,
some
tell them
other
heavy
things.
on the salami. You understand me? Ah,
Yeah,
we getting
that's
stabbed
just my
over
real life.
Italian sandwiches.
No one's
You and
getting
me, we not
stabbed
the
here,
same.
man.
We losing our brothers over subs. Ah. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Oh
Shit. Action
God.
Bronson rapping about somebody getting stabbed over an Italian sub.
Heavy salami.
We going heavy on the salami.
That
I
sounds
flip
pretty
out the
good.
blade. Ah.
So Alex really Alex, I don't know how to recover from this. I had a traumatic experience with my submarine sandwiches, and you're over here cracking jokes about my mental instability over my food,
You know what,
you
man? You're
know?
right. You're right. I'm sorry. I will make sure that Italian subs as a topic as a whole is just off the table from now on. I do apologize.
I'm just saying people are
Ah,
flaming me on Twitter again. I don't
ah.
like that. I don't like that too much.
That was a banger tweet though. You got like 20 something likes.
Oh, that's nothing in the world of, titties and whatever, Can we
Yeah.
say that on Twitter? Or where are we?
Can
What
you
are we?
Can you say titties on Twitter? I've seen much worse words used on Twitter before.
Really?
Oh, yeah, ugh, pick a letter. You know what word has made a real resurgence on Twitter lately is the R slur, and people are just real fast and loose with that one.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I've definitely seen a resurgence of that, which kind of shocks me. I don't like that word.
No,
You
I
know?
don't like it either. It's not a fortunate one. I mean, I think we've all kind of been desensitized to a lot of the fucking language that gets used on that uh platform now. But for like some reason, I feel like because the R slur went away for so long, like seeing it come back hits a little differently.
Does.
You know what I mean? Like on the internet, like the N word or like the F slur, like they've always just kind of been there, and it's not comfortable. I don't like to see it, but it's like it's been there. You know what I mean? Whereas like the R slur went away for so long, and now it's back, and it's like, oh, I forgot how you felt.
Yeah, I think it hits hard because like we all said it so fucking much in middle school, you know, that
So sorry,
what?
I didn't mean to. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, no. Interrupt me more.
No,
Yeah,
it's
go
cool.
fuck yourself. Tell me.
Ah,
Tell me
ah.
what's so on your mind.
No, you're right though, because I feel like of all of those kind of words that we shouldn't have been saying, it was like the R slur for a long time was just kind of acceptable. You know what I mean? And like I personally, I didn't use it when I was young.
Oh, bullshit.
No, and I'm not gonna say like I never said it, right? But like using it the way that somebody growing up in the early 2000s used it, right? My mom worked for like group homes for I'm gonna try to say this. I don't know exactly what the proper like mentally disabled. If that's in like not proper, I apologize. My mom worked with disabled people in group homes and stuff, and so like that word was like absolutely fucking not. You don't say that word. Was like how my brother and I were raised, and so like we didn't really use it. And
That's good.
yeah, and so like I had a different relationship to it than I think most people my age do. And then like I was kind of happy to see that we all collectively decided like we're not going to use that word anymore. That was kind of like nice. And now it's back and it's not fun.
Well, we still have a couple of friends that say it, and I always call it out when I hear it. But when I was younger, my older sister, who was she was like 8 years, she is 8 years older than me. She always called it out every time I said it, and I think about that all the time. I'm like, wow, she was really ahead of her time,
Yeah, no kidding.
like really ahead of her time. And I'm not sure why she called it out all the time. I don't think she was around like your mom worked for a group home. My sister, like, I don't think ever did anything of that nature. So I'm not sure where she got that from. But I'm looking back now, I'm glad that she did that because like it took me a while to catch on. But when I finally caught on, it's like cringy looking back. And I think that's why it's so uncomfortable to see it on fucking social media now, you know? Um, before we get off on any tangents, Alex, we should move on to the point of this podcast.
Oh wait, Joe, hang
Uh,
on. Joe,
what?
Caitlin's calling me. Hang on.
She's calling you?
Hi, Caitlin. You're live on the podcast.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay. Oh, perfect. You have a question for the podcast. Okay, great. What's your question?
Can you confirm that my ID is still in your wallet? And then also, do you want to come have happy hour drinks and snacks with us so that I can get my ID and you can hang out with us?
When is happy hour?
I'm here now and I need alcohol.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm live on the podcast with Joe right now. I'm pretty sure I still have your ID. Yeah. But I'm currently on the show with Joe.
Oh.
So I can be there, but it's going to be a little while.
How long?
I don't know. We're only like 20 minutes into this recording.
Oh.
So like 20 or 30
Okay.
more minutes, and then however long it takes me to get there.
All right. Text me when you're done.
Okay, will do.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the most boring question we've ever been asked on this podcast.
Yeah, her ID is not in my wallet, which I haven't replaced, by the way. Still,
Well, Joe doesn't have a wallet, so we know the answer to that question.
I bought a fucking $500 Xbox, but I didn't buy a goddamn $15 wallet. Although I did get sent 2 wallets that I haven't opened yet.
There you go. I actually,
Yeah.
you know what? Joe, vamp for a second because I need to make sure that I do have her ID and she didn't lose it.
Okay. So yeah, listen, I'm gonna teach you the beauty of buying a new wallet. See, Alex and I had this conversation about our goals or something of 2025, and he was flaming me about buying a new wallet. But here's my defense on that, right? I have a list of things that I just need to buy that I'm not gonna like drive all the way to Walmart to be like, boy, I'm going to buy a new wallet today. No, I'm just going to buy it while I'm there. So I put it on the list so I remember the next time I'm at a fucking superstore like that, like Kmart or whatever, I'm going to buy it. You know, it's not that a wallet's so expensive. It's just so I remember. You know, I've learned on this app called TikTok, which I'm not on, but many people are. There's this term called smooth brain. Now, I'm not quite sure what that means, but from what I understand, it means I'm kind of dumb. And I've been called this smooth brain business, many times. So I had to write to buy a new wallet on the board. What day is it?
Where am I?
Alex, what's your question? And before you ask, can you make it more interesting than your partner's question? Because I gotta be honest with you, I didn't quite like the question. You know, why would the question be if you want to go? What about me? You know?
I mean, Joe, do you want to fly to Chicago and
No,
come have happy hour drinks
no,
with Caitlin and her colleagues?
no. Are
I
our
didn't think
colleagues
so.
single?
No, I don't know.
Then no. What the
Uh,
fuck?
I don't know if there'd be a worse way for me to go spend time with her colleagues than trying to find the single ones and introduce them to one of my friends.
Well, hang on,
That would
man.
be,
I got a Grimace statue. I got G Fuel. I got it all, man. Come on
oh,
now.
you're Caitlin's partner. She's such a great teacher. What do you do? Oh, I podcast. This is Joe.
All right, yeah. You know what? Never. If people ask me to this day if I podcast, I will deny and denounce this fucking show every single time. Just pointing that out there.
I had people find it and then like come up to me and be like, I didn't know you had a podcast. I was like, yeah, that was by design, and now they've found it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
just say
so
no. Just say no.
oh
It's
no, that's
okay.
not me. That's AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Joe. My question for you for this episode is
Okay.
what would your 6 Pokemon team be
Pokemon. I don't
if
know
you were gonna
Pokemon.
enter a Pokemon tournament? Give me your top 6. Give me your Pokemon team.
You could not have asked a worse question to a guy who fucking loves Magic the Gathering. Are
those things like not the same?
No, dude, Magic the Gathering is the superior card game. Okay, I just bought a new pack. I can't wait to crack it.
I I can't believe you've ever had sex. I'm sorry. The things that you like, the way that you speak.
Okay, what the fuck does that mean? The way I speak?
Oh, Magic the Gathering. Yeah. I come on, man. Magic the Gathering.
You're asking a question on a podcast about Pokemon. What the fuck do you
Yes.
mean?
I've never had sex either.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in good company then. Now, what kind of battle is this? Is this a fucking fist fight, or is this like a bar fight, or is this like a Pokemon battle?
This is like a Pokemon battle. Yeah.
All right, I got the perfect answer. One is Pikachu because he's got that little electric tail. He can fucking zap anybody. 2 is Tony from Hack the Movies because he's short, he's chunky, but he's built. He could fuck somebody up, right? Especially a cartoon.
So Tony's not a Pokemon though.
Well, Dennis Rodman is, so he's the fucking third choice.
Dennis Rodman is an NBA basketball player
who likes North Korea.
Who very famously, is friends with Kim Jong-un, married to Madonna. Yeah, he's, he lived
married to Madonna?
He was, yeah.
Whoa, that's kind of crazy.
He was
had
with
a sex
Carmen
tape
Electra.
with Tony Lee or whatever, or Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee Jones. Just getting all the fucking celebrities mixed up. So Dennis Rodman, no, Dennis the Menace, no.
So let me ask you. Let me spin another question. So, like, Pokemon, obviously, if you know this question, or if you ask this question. Well, I would say, first of all, it's Pikachu, because that motherfucker has zap and tails, right? You can fuck anybody else up. Charizard would be the next one. dragon, shoot fire. Try to defend yourself against a dragon who shoots fire. You know what I'm saying? And then this is what I would do because I don't know Pokemon. I would clone 3 Pikachus and 3 Charizards because they're the only 2 Pokemon I know. Now listen to this. We got 1 Pikachu zapping you in the eye, another Pikachu punching you in the fucking gut, and a 3rd Pikachu zapping you in the behind, so you're getting fucked by all angles. And then on top of that, you got 1 Charizard blowing fire in your face. Good luck defending against that. You got another Charizard throwing fire into your owner's fucking hand. Good luck controlling the Pokemon when you're getting fire against your hands and your appendages. And then a 3rd Charizard blowing fire in your butt, dude. You can't defend against it, right? You're going to be the gym class champion of Pokemon.
So you really don't know how Pokemon works. Which is cool.
No,
That's fine.
no,
I'm
I
just
know,
surprised.
I know. No, I know. It's what do you mean? I just explained it. You do the fire blast and the
I
tail
don't know.
zap.
I always figured Pokemon would be like right up your alley. I'm surprised that you're not like familiar.
See, Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh are my card games. I have an extensive collection of Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering cards. Pokemon, I never got into it. While all the kids were trading Pokemon cards, I was fucking trading Dark Magicians behind the slide. You know what I'm saying? Yu-Gi-Oh would be a different thing, be a different story.
So I never got into the card game element of it. I watched the show when I was a kid, and I had some cards, I had some toys or whatever. I was never super into it. It was always just kind of like a background thing that I liked or was familiar with. But I never got into the card game, mostly because I was poor.
Right, naturally.
But like, I don't know. I always kind of thought the card game was stupid. It wasn't as fun to me as like the video games or the show.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I disagree. When it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, like I love card games. Like not like poker and shit like that, like trading card games. I love playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I love playing Magic even more. The problem is it's hard to find nerds who are like want to hang out and actually play the card game. So most of the time it's just like me walking through Target buying a pack and like giggling to myself that I cracked a good pack in the middle of the night in my living room alone.
We should do a random question live stream where we like open some card packs and like do that whole thing. We'll get like the plastic sleeve out.
That's a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. We'll like way overreact.
Wait, hang on a second. No, we're not going to overreact. We're not doing that shit.
It's like a card that's only worth like $70. Like maybe it's kind of cool, but not. Whoa! You just way freaking out. You put it in the plastic sleeve. You definitely don't need to put it in.
$70 card though. That's a good pull.
Is it?
Yeah, because the fucking booster pack's $4.99. You know, it's only got fucking 12 cards in there. That's pretty good return on investment. Side note, you should bookmark the idea of a live show. That's not bad.
I would love to do a random question live show. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna steal some of Tony from Hack the Movie's thunder and do that.
Damn, we should have Tony on the show. We should do a live stream with Tony.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not a
Tony,
bad idea.
if you're watching.
He's not watching.
Tony,
you're screaming into an empty
hi,
hallway.
Tony.
No, he's not doing it, dude. I would give you $100. $100 if he texts me and says he's watching it.
Tony,
it's not gonna happen. You can keep yelling.
Anthony, what's his full name? Is his full name Anthony?
No, it's Antonio.
Antonio. Oh, is it Antonio or is it Antonio? Do you know how some people say it like that? Antonio.
Yeah, it depends on who says it.
Yeah, you know. Well,
depends on how
Greg, just the wrong name.
Greg, yeah.
Martin. Shit. Yeah, I'm just surprised you're not as into Pokemon as you are. I'm surprised. I thought you'd maybe be a little more into it.
Well, like I said, I fell in the Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh world. Just like way, because people like nowadays people collect Pokemon for like the collection aspect. Like not a lot of people actually play Pokemon. Like my good friend who shall not be named, really into Pokemon cards, has a crazy valuable collection, has never played the card game once. and it kind of ticks me off. Yeah, kind of ticks me off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the larger conversation about like collector culture is really, I've never understood people that just collect for the sake of collecting. Like I like people that collect like shoes and then never wear them, or cars and never drive them. I don't know. Collecting culture has always been weird to me, and like I think Pokemon's a good example of it, especially now that it's like it's older people that are just like they're kind of stuck in the nostalgia of what they liked when they were a kid, and so now they're going to spend way too much money on cards that like just sit in a box and do nothing. Like I don't know. I find it really weird.
Yeah, I think my big thing is like really the only time I can play Magic is like at PAX East because like most of us play Magic or half of us do at least. So I played a lot there. And then my one friend who I played with moved away. And I could go to like an event, but because they have like events, like matches that you can go to on a Friday night and just play. But the fucking shop closed. So now there's like no local places that host events. So I'm like just kind of hanging out, just like playing with myself, basically, which fucking sucks.
We should. That's what we should do. We should have like an 013 Studios, and we should like fund this kind of event.
That would be cool as fuck.
We could do it. We can make our own version of Sweaty Stinky PAX. Just a bunch of sweaty, stinky Magic the Gathering guys in a dark basement, funded by 013 Studios. And
I'm
it's
gonna
just,
kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
well,
I'm gonna kill you. I will not handle PAX slander.
we did 10 minutes of it earlier.
No, I didn't participate. No, I didn't say anything.
Shit. All right, can I tell you my 6 Pokemon and then we'll move on?
Please.
All right, my 6 Pokemon. I always liked fire type Pokemon. That was my deal. So Charizard's my favorite Pokemon ever. He's definitely in my starting 6. Blaziken, the like tall chicken guy, fucking
Okay.
rad. I'm gonna if you don't know Pokemon, I'm gonna describe these in the weirdest ways possible because I think that's funny. So the tall chicken fire guy, I'm gonna pick him. I always liked Sceptile. He was like a weird tree lizard guy thing. He like threw grass out of his tail. Fucking baller.
Threw grass out of his tail. Okay.
Yeah, it was fucking sick. He would be like whip his ass end around, and it would just be like these like shards of fucking. It was sick. I also might just have that wrong. I have not watched an episode of Pokemon since I was like 9 years old. Who else would be in my 6? Ooh, Gengar, the fat little
The
purple
purple,
ghost guy.
yeah, the grimace guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
He's like
I know him.
Grimace's evil twin brother.
Yep.
That's 4. Oh god, who would my other 2 be? You know what? I'm gonna say Marshtomp. No, Swampert. I think Marshtomp's the one before. Swampert. He's like a big like salamander kind of water guy. I always thought he was fucking cool. And then I'm gonna say Salamence. I'm gonna say Salamence. He's like a giant salamander, but he can like fly. He's got wings and shit. He's fucking baller.
So he can fly in battle. Then
Yeah.
he just wins at that point.
That's what I'm saying. So just to recap, my top 6: Charizard, Blaziken, Sceptile, Gengar, Swampert, and Salamence.
Wow. Let us know in the comments below what your 6 Pokemon are.
Sound off in the comments.
I will not say that. Like I said, I do love trading card games, but Pokemon was never my thing. And it sounds like you've never played any sort of trading card game.
No, not really.
Which is shocking. And I have some friends who are very nerdy who refuse to get into trading card games, which kind of shocks me a lot.
My brother and I used to play this game where it was like basketball trading cards, and like you would get like the one brand of cards, like they would come with like weird like attributes for the player, and then we had this like it was like a cardboard like thing that you could open up, and it was a basketball court, and you would put like the 5 guys at their positions, and then you would basically be like, all right, Kobe Bryant for 3, and then his fucking attributes were just better than the guy across from you, so you scored 3 points, and then you just did that for 4 quarters.
Wait, that's kind of cool.
It was kind of fun. It was just basically like whoever had the better 5 cards just won. You know what I mean? Like there was really no strategy or anything to it. It was just like, oh, you got Kobe and I don't, so you know.
That's kind of like when I was a kid. There was like this game. I'm not into Star Wars, but there was like this Star Wars figure and card game. Like think of like Disney Infinity, like or like amiibos, but with like a playing card, and you would be on a battlefield and your Star Wars guys versus the other team Star Wars guys, and you'd like roll a dice and like you'd use the card to like play your hand or something. It was
Hmm.
sick. It was
That
really
sounds
fucking
oddly
cool.
familiar.
It was really fucking cool. I don't know what it was called. I'm sure somebody could tell us. But like when I got into college, I got into Magic, and then I like forgot about Magic for like 5 or 6 years, and then like just a couple of years ago, I got back into it during COVID, and I've been obsessed ever since. Unfortunately, I can't play it more, but maybe we'll do a live random question virtual card game where you make your cards, I make my cards, and I'll have a Joey C team of monsters.
You know what we should do? I've actually thought about this too. For the softball game that you and me do over the summers, I wanted to make like physical trading cards of all of us. I thought that'd be so
Yeah,
much
dude,
fun.
be so fucking cool. I would, dude. I'd love to frame them all in like a fucking frame. That
That's what
would
I'm
be
saying, dude. We
sick.
get like those like collector edition books where you can like put all the guys in
Yeah,
little
dude,
sleeves and shit. That'd be sick.
that would be really fucking cool.
Who's of everybody that's played, who would be the super rarest, most valuable card?
Well, it would have to be who only played once. You know,
Oh, okay, sure. I was thinking it has to be Preston, right?
I was
Preston
gonna,
has to be like,
dude, I was literally gonna say the MVP Preston card.
yeah, that has
Yeah,
to be
for
the like
sure.
the holographic or whatever, the super, yeah.
Or the guy who took a shit in the porta potty in the second one. I can't remember who that was. Was that Adam?
I think that was Adam too. I don't even think that was a
Yeah, it
player. That
was.
was just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was, that's you could make that a limited edition print. Hungover Joey C.
Risky, Jesse's dog from last year.
Oh yeah, dude.
We'll make Risky a little special edition.
That
Fuck
dog
yeah.
was so fucking cute. It was so hot that day. Oh my fucking god.
It was so fucking hot.
So you had a good question, Alex, and I feel kind of bad because I have like a serious good question though.
Ooh, a serious question.
Yeah, it's you had a
Serious
fun
Joey
one.
C over here.
Yeah, I thought of this earlier today. What is the most pivotal, not like particular point, but like pivotal era in your life?
The most pivotal era of my life.
And if you don't know, I'll go first so you know what I'm asking. But I'm really curious as to what yours is. Like the most important in terms of like you developing into like like not an adult, but like you developing your like your brain basically.
Yeah, I think I have some like specific moments that I can like super super specific moments that I can remember being like changing and altering and like really kind of like important, not milestones, because in some cases they're things that didn't even happen like to me, um but things that I can go backwards and say like, all right, this changed my perspective on this, or this changed the course of this thing. um I think in terms of like an era, like I assume you're asking more of like a longer stretch of time that meant more. I think I got it. But I'm curious to hear yours first.
So mine, of all the eras that I've held in my life, some people would say college or high school or middle school or like any general area like that. I would definitely say like the middle school era because it's where I developed like basically all of my interests, whether that was video games, filmography, music. The big thing is like wrestling, like really getting into like watching old wrestling promos, which is like where half my fucking personality comes from, is like studying old wrestling promos of the wrestlers like screaming into the camera, and like watching old comedies with my dad that my dad would show me. Like he'd make me watch like the Honeymooners and Andy Kaufman and Chris Farley and John Belushi, and old wrestling promos of fucking Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan screaming into a camera, which is like really where I learned how to fucking communicate and like how to like perform, if you will, is like professional wrestling. And in that era, I did stage, I did theater, and musicals and stuff. So like all of that mixed into a blender. Like thinking about it now, I am still a huge skateboarder. I listen to the same fucking music. I'm into the same fucking wrestling thing, play the same video game styles, still making videos, still a giant fucking nerd, still acting as crazy as ever. And I'm fucking almost 30. You know, how long is that going to fucking last? Like, am I going to fucking last? Am I going to be like this until I'm fucking 80? But everything that I'm into now, I got into as a middle schooler, like sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. And I think about that. I'm like, wow, that was like really the most pivotal point in my life. Cause like I started skateboarding like when I was like 8. So I skated in elementary school, but like I really fucking got into it in middle school. That's where I like really dived into my interest because it was the first time we got a computer with the internet. And I was able to like research that, and YouTube launched when I was in like 8th grade. So I was able to find like all this old fucking wrestling videos and comedy videos and music videos and all that shit. And it was my first experience editing digitally. Before that, I edited on 2 VCRs. Imagine that. Just fucking wild.
Super interesting. I that's not necessarily what I expected you to say, but it makes a lot of sense. And I think about myself at that age, and yeah, I feel like that's probably a really common age for most people to come across like a lot of their interests that they develop and keep on through the rest of their lives. I think about myself, and um, middle school might even be the answer. It wasn't what I was gonna say, but as I think about it, a lot of my friends that I still have today made in middle school. A lot of the interest in sense of comedy, music, sports, like all those kind of things, that's middle school. Um, the reason I would not say middle school for myself is because, like, in terms of actually developing or changing as a person, I don't think I did all that much. You know, I look back at the way I behaved in middle school and the way I treated people or the way I just kind of felt about myself and all those kinds of things. So like, oh no, that I was a piece of shit. And I don't look back on like that time in my life super fondly. Then again, I don't think anybody does when they look back at their 13-year-old self, and they shouldn't. And if they do, you're kind of a loser. Um, so I think more to that extent in terms of like personal growth, I was gonna say community college. I
I
did
figured that was going to be your answer.
I did 2
Yeah.
years of community college and then 2 years at a 4-year school, but community college was like the first time I got to be like on my own. Like I still lived at home, but like I got to be an adult on my own, right? I had my own schedule. I had a job. I had a couple different jobs actually, like at the same time. Um, so I was working more than one job. I was in school. I finally had like a license and a car, so I had that freedom. Caitlin was away at a different school, so now we were transitioning from like, you know, like a teenage high school relationship to an adult relationship where like we're kind of moving into like what it's like to not have parents around and what it's like to not have like the confines of school changing things. And like I don't know, I just think in terms of like personal growth and becoming my own person, I think that those couple of years and like meeting new people and getting out of high school and being like pushed out into the real world, like that's the era that I think of for myself as like what kind of defined me as an adult and being my own person. Because everybody, like, when you're in middle school, high school, you're developing and you're becoming your own person, but you're not all the way there yet because you still got homework and a bedtime. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to like figure yourself out when you got a curfew. It's hard to figure yourself out when like you can get sent to the principal's office. You know what I mean? And like you kind of get pushed into the real world. And like I had a moment in community college where I woke up one morning, I was like, I don't really want to go to class. And I didn't. And nobody could tell me that I had to. I couldn't get in trouble for that. I was like, oh yeah, I could do my own shit. And then it was up to me to decide that that's a one off thing and you should go to class and yada, 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 you know, but like having that freedom or like I said, I had a license and a car that was mine. It wasn't like my parents' car that I was borrowing. It was my car. So I was like, fuck yeah, if I just want to go do something, I can just go do that. And like learning to have that freedom and use it responsibly and not be a fucking idiot and just like figure out who you are as a person is like really important. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And I think That's probably my answer. But middle school is probably second, honestly, in terms of like the interests, like you were saying.
That's a beautiful answer. First of all, sorry for the serious question. I was very curious.
I like when you ask serious questions. It's fun. I like it.
Doesn't happen often when I'm serious.
Yeah, you know.
I figured that was going to be your answer. Although I thought it was going to be when you went to the 4-year school with Preston, because like I didn't know you in high school. I don't even think we were in high school at the same time.
Maybe a year, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember, but you always talk very highly about your time in college, so I figured that was going to be your answer. I fucking hated college. I hated every second of it. It took me 4 years to get a 2-year degree. Fucking ridiculous. There's no dates on diplomas, kids. I hated it. It was the fucking worst time of my life. I think a second closest to me would be like after college, like between the ages of like 21 and 25, probably. Like, I don't think and this may come to a shock. I think I've calmed down. I don't think I calmed down until I hit the age of like 25, 26 is when I like really fucking chilled out. And now is a very relaxed 29-year-old, very mature.
Yeah.
Not into Pokemon, of course, because that's for children, game for children, of course. I'm very adult. And when I get off this podcast, I'm going to make some stew on the stove, So, it's good to be an adult. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to crack my magic cards. And it's going to be a good time. And Elex, I'm proud of you for becoming the adult that you are, and have created a life for yourself. And it's all because of that particular community college. So I'm very, very happy. And if you're wondering why I'm yapping so much, it's because Alex's camera died. So I'm just going to continue to talk while he frantically spins his camera off the tripod and changes the battery. And he's moving so fast, and my throat is getting dry. I'm not sure what else to say. I have a Grimace statue. I was in middle school, in fact, and I don't know if Katelyn's coworkers are single or not. You know what I'm saying? Will Elex go to happy hour? I don't fucking know, man. It's 5:43 at the time of us recording. Elex is spinning his camera on the tripod. I have to pee really bad. In fact, I've had to pee this entire episode. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to even make it to the toilet. That's not for me to find out. I guess I'll find out if my pants get wet. Crooked. And the camera's crooked, so he can't even film it properly. I'm filming on a fisheye, and if you're wondering what my camera's sitting on,
all right, I got you. We're good. Camera's back. You can take a breath. Okay. Take a breath. Okay. I don't know how or why my camera just died, because it was at full battery when we started. I was like, perfect, I got a full battery. And then we got to 45 minutes and it started blinking at me. So I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'm going to say that one's not my fault. The first couple times my camera fucked up, that's all me. This one, I'm not taking blame for this one.
Is it an episode of Random Question Podcast if Alex's camera doesn't fuck up?
This is the heart and soul of the show right here. No. This is episode 9. I think I've had 3 or 4 camera problems.
5 or 6. Come on. Man.
Yeah, we've done 9 episodes. I've had 10 camera problems. Like, how does that add up?
Have you eaten dinner yet, Elex?
No, I have not eaten dinner because it's not 5 o'clock where I am yet.
Oh, that's correct. I forgot about the sun's position in the hemisphere.
Yeah, or whatever. I had lunch before this. I have not eaten dinner yet.
I'm going to eat dinner after this. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to fucking eat dinner. That's what
Joe, we're only at 50 minutes. You don't want to vamp for another 30?
Well, I mean, I guess...
A record-long episode?
Well, I guess we could. I would just bring my camera into the bathroom so I could pee. And, just switch to this audio instead of this audio. And I would just talk. I could tell a story while I'm peeing.
No, that's okay. The people don't want to hear and see you pee.
Well, it'd sound like I'm frying chicken, which is what I'm going to make for dinner, probably.
Pissing all by yourself, handsome?
Yeah. What do you mean? One time I went into a fucking bathroom filled with people at PAX. I think I might have even told this story before. our other friend, who I shall not name, was with us. It was a fucking 20 people in this fucking line of urinals, dead quiet. And I look over at our friend while everyone's quiet while I'm peeing, and I go, "Hey man, my hands are freezing. Can you hold this thing for me?" And fucking everybody in the bathroom was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Yo, don't be asking him that." He was so
Insane.
embarrassed.
Insane.
They always say that I have no shame, which I've come to find out is probably true.
I love that trend right now where people are going to like grocery stores and they're like getting a manager and they're like, "Hey, my friend locked himself in the bathroom. He can't get out. Like, can you please help me? We need to hurry." And so they go like hauling ass through the grocery store and they get in and they unlock and open the door on just like a stranger that's using the bathroom. And so like the person recording is just like dying laughing because they tricked the grocery store employee to like just walking in on someone in the bathroom. Super great
Oh,
bit.
oh my god, that is so fucked up. Oh
Great
my
bit. I love it
god,
so
dude.
much.
Wow. Wow, we will never do that.
Yeah, I think I'm not brave enough for like prank content stuff or like that street stuff.
I've done it once. I'll never do it again.
I especially wouldn't want to fuck with somebody in the bathroom because I know if somebody fucked with me in the bathroom, I'm getting very upset, and I don't want people to be upset at me. Upset with me is one thing, like, oh, I'm good, but like upset at me, that's different. So
They all I don't know, it just all sounds the same to me, honestly. Upset is upset. And if you walk in on me peeing, I'm just gonna continue to pee because I gotta pee right now. So I'm thinking about it.
damn, just starts pissing himself.
I think I am. It's starting to get warm
Damn.
down there.
Welcome to the pissing down our own legs podcast.
Nice. That's how you
Damn,
stay
dude.
warm in Antarctica, folks.
That's what we should do. If we're gonna do a live show, we should do one of those like 24-hour streams and just wear diapers and just hang out.
That that brings another question. How do people pee when they do that? They just get up and go, right?
Yeah, I think so. And like I know there's like some of the streamers, they put like cameras like all over their house. So like they go to the bathroom and you could like see them in the bathroom. Or at least like see them go into the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Well, don't put me in the bathroom. I mean, put me in the bathroom, but don't put a camera in my bathroom. I would not go into the. No, I would. Alex, it's been a wonderful episode of the Random Question Podcast. We had some funny questions, some serious questions, but it's all about the questions that we made along the way. What?
You're almost there.
Okay, well, I'm going to go pee.
Yeah, you think about it. Report back to me next episode.
I will.
All right, buddy. Always good to see you.
Hey, Alex, I love you. Goodbye.
Love you too, buddy. Bye.